Hey there, it's Kevin from MaximizingEcommerce.com. I help people start and grow e-commerce businesses. I am going live in the car, driving to a high school football game where I'm a high school football ref. If you've heard my story before of how I got into e-commerce, I started as a ref, and I started by taking money from a season as a high school football ref to get the funds in order to make my first private label product. Sorry, I'm in the midst of traffic here in the middle of Vero Beach where I'm at right now. But I'm driving kind of far away to this game. It's about an hour and a half drive, and I'm probably about 45 minutes of the way through it. I'm about to hit some really bad traffic here on the interstate, but just had me thinking quite a bit since I was spending so much time on the road that, you know, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I listened to a lot of audiobooks, which is good. It's helpful. I think it's one way to learn a lot. So if you're looking to start like an e-commerce business, or if you're looking to grow one, it's good to hear what everyone else is doing. It's a good business to get into, and it's one of those things you kind of got to be learning and what is the cutting edge, what's working, what's not, because what worked 3 years ago isn't necessarily going to work today. Some things that worked 50 years ago still work today, as far as humans are still wired the same way. So it's always good to learn about psychology, how people think, and then at the same time too, like the technical aspects of e-commerce, what works today, what advertising platforms work, what marketplaces work, because Amazon's the big hot thing today, but something else will be down the road. Or maybe Amazon will, for our entire lives and our kids' lives and our grandkids' lives, will be the thing. I mean, who knows? But more than anything, when you're in your car, challenge yourself. Like, what are you doing that can further you? So, like, if you've got, let's say, a 20-minute commute to work every day, you could either, listen to the radio. Listen to something else, or you can listen to podcasts that are positive, uplifting, teach you something along those nature. So I think it was Zig Ziglar that coined the phrase, at least that I first heard of a. So hopefully you'll to still hear this. Ziglar won Automobile University. And on Automobile University, you are able to, sorry about that, I lost the feed there for a sec. But you can listen to during that, because most of it is about an hour. So maybe 4 a weekend, let's say. 52. We get too caught up, and I keep losing my signal here. We get too caught up in this notion of, I got to know more. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be totally lined up. Everything has to be wonderful. But the reality is that things are never really perfect. You never really have anything. There's a saying that if having knowledge got you everything you wanted, everybody would be rich and skinny, because there's plenty of the knowledge to do both things that are out there, but it's really more about taking action. So on that note, as much as my theme of what I'm talking about here is utilizing the time that you have, which I'm in the car driving to a football game, and I'm doing a live here with you. And even if you're watching this in the recording, I'd love it if you have any comments or questions, you can leave it down below. But I'm utilizing this time to, if I wasn't doing this live, sorry about that. I think I just lost the signal again. So I'm not sure how this is going to look on the replay. To be completely honest with you, this is the first time I've intentionally done a YouTube live. First time I ever went live on YouTube. I had a software that I had purchased online that I connected my audio, or my key as they call it, to the streaming key, so that my computer talked to that with software which talked to YouTube, and it made me go live, and I didn't intend to. Oops. But yeah, more than anything, where I was starting to get to, I think I lost my train of thought there. Sorry. But more than anything, the key is, take action on things. Because if you don't take action, you're just going to have ideas and get excited about what you hear in the podcast. But, do something. So, like, I'm a big proponent of, if you haven't gotten your first sale, just get your first sale in. Find some stuff on clearance or whatever, send it into Amazon. Oops, sorry about that. So the key is, just keep looking for ways to take action. Especially when you first start out, if you're new to this game, and I still suffer from this too. A couple years into e-commerce, and I know most people do too. Is that you get caught up in, like, what if something's not going to work out? You get kind of like psyched yourself out. So it's almost like you're at the starting line and you're worried about what it's going to look like at the finish line. Well, let's worry about the finish line when we get there. We'll never get to the finish line if we don't at least start. You got to have a bias for action and doing things. I was talking to somebody I know recently who was thinking about doing this, and her concern was, well, what if what if this just doesn't work out? Something that, if I don't remember the exact way she worded it, but that's something, a fear that a lot of people have. But try to train your brain as much as possible to fear not things not working out, but missing out. So be afraid of missing out on opportunities. So before I finished the podcast, before this live, I was speaking to somebody from eBay about doing eBay advertising, and if I find out more, I'll be more than happy to share it if it's something that you're interested in learning about. Actually, if it is something you're interested in, if you leave a comment down below, and I'll share whatever I have. And just there's a lot of topics to cover, so I'd like to cover the topics that people are most interested in. So if that is one that you're interested in, feel free to let me know that you'd like to learn more about what eBay advertising is. It sounds more like an intermediate play because they had some minimums on the amount you had to spend. And I'm not even sure it's going to work out for me. But it was one of those things that, I saw an ad for eBay advertising, and I clicked on it and find out, just get more information. Sometimes it's just worth it. Just find out more, and then make a decision, do or don't. And so this one, I'm going to getting the basic information. The woman I talked to, it turns out she was more of like a screener that sent on to other salespeople. That's the way she described her own job. I'm not making that up. So I'm going to find out more if this, is a viable thing. It was one of those things, like, it was worth the effort. Going back to maximizing the time that, I'm in the car. I had an hour and a half drive, so I made sure to schedule the call for while I knew I was going to be in the car in the drive. There's no sense, doing it at another time if I could help it, or not utilizing this time in the car. That's the big thing, is that, you really want to, maximize your time, because, you have two enemies in e-commerce. I'm going off a little bit of a tangent here, but your two biggest enemies in e-commerce are time and money. So time, you've only got so much time, especially if you're like me and you have a full-time job that you're doing all this on top of, and you still have family and, other duties and, things that you care about in life, like, going to a high school football game to throw yellow flags at people, in case you're not familiar with what a ref does. But it's one of those things that you got to make best usage of your time. And, what can you do from a money standpoint? You've only got so much money to put on the table, even if it's millions of dollars or if it's $10, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you have at the moment. to invest, and then hopefully turn that over with time. And then what can you do to make time more your friend, where you're selling more for the time you have? Because at the end of the day, time's going to pass anyway. So people get so caught up in, I'm worried about is this going to work out? Is this not going to work out? So again, don't worry too much about whether or not something's going to work out. Just do your best and say, I'm going to go at it. And then if things don't work out, you didn't lose out on the opportunity of trying. And then also, you gave it your all, and you probably learned something out of it. So, and if you keep seeing what works and what doesn't work for you and how you work, then eventually you're going to put yourself in a better position to do well. I mean, they say, Thomas Edison had failed like 10,000 times before he got to, many of his successes. And, Thomas Edison is probably one of the most successful inventors. He's the founder of GE. I mean, he did quite a bit in his life, but a lot of it he attributes to, read things where he talks quite a bit about, is he wasn't afraid to fail. So, keep trying. So I know this was originally about maximizing the time you have in the car, but hopefully you found this useful. If you did, please click thumbs up, as well as leave a comment or question down below, and I'll try to address your comment or question, and even maybe do it on a future video. And let me know too, like, do you like this live kind of off the cuff? I know usually I do things a little bit more structured with the PowerPoint. I'm trying to just do different things to, what I can help you and serve, those of you who are in the audience, or even if you're finding this for the first time, hopefully you found this helpful, and maybe share it with a friend. So looking like the rain's starting to pick up here where I'm at, and I'm driving on a busy interstate, so I probably should stop the madness, so to speak, of doing a live while driving. So take care and have a great day.